Hey everybody, welcome back to Ark. I'm your host, Dimetrodon, and today I'll be showing you how to spend your levels when leveling up to level 10, what not to level up, what to level up, and what you want to spend your Engrams on. So, basically here, I have gotten myself a few levels, and most of the time it'll say like one level, and you'll be able to level one thing up, and then you'll go and you'll spend your Engrams here and the Engram points. But for the sake of this video, I have just kept my levels untouched so that I can show you when I level them up. So basically, you're going to be this method for leveling up can be used for any map. But I'm going to be sticking to mainly like the default Engrams that you can get, and not including Engrams such as from Scorched Earth, Genesis, because I don't own Genesis, and stuff like that. But one thing I will suggest is if you have Scorched Earth, and you are planning to play it, and you're going to start with like nothing or start with a brand new character, I would suggest upgrading Fortitude as one of your first things, just so you limit your ability to get heat stroke, and you'll be able to like not burn up and die as soon as you get in the game. Or well, as soon later. Basically, I would definitely not suggest upgrading food and water, simply because it's a waste of points. And really, once you have like a water jug and some cooked meat or something, you'll have plenty of food and water. You won't even need to worry about how much you have. So another thing I wouldn't level up would be oxygen, unless you have a bunch of extra points, because in the start of the game you're really not going to be going in the water. You're going to be avoiding it because of piranhas. And just in general, basically you're not really going to be going into the ocean too much until you get like scuba gear, which then you can get in air tanks that you never even have to worry about oxygen. So really you really shouldn't worry about oxygen. Otherwise, I would say probably the most important ones to upgrade are movement speed, health, and stamina, as well as weight. Movement speed, health, stamina, and weight are probably the most important. Fortitude is important in a map like Scorched Earth, or if you're in an area that's really hot or really cold constantly. Crafting skill, basically the only time you use that is if you're going to use a Mind Wipe tonic, and then put all of your levels into crafting skill, and then get like really good, to be able to make like really good gear, or really good saddle or something like that. That's really the only time you're going to use that. Otherwise, you're going to keep that down. In general, you're going to want to keep your melee damage just at 100%, because in the future, you're just going to be using long-range weapons, really. And if you upgrade this, you're not going to be able to knock out a dodo with your fist. You're going to end up killing it. So, I would definitely say, when you're leveling up, start with movement speed. So on your first couple levels, like maybe like your first 3 levels, just to level that up. And really, you're gonna want to get that all the way up to 112 movement speed, because then you can outrun a raptor in Ark. I would say Velociraptor, but they're just called raptors in Ark, and I'm pretty sure the raptors in Ark are supposed to be Utah raptors. So saying Velociraptor would be incorrect. Also, really, you're not going to have to worry about your fortitude unless you're in Scorched Earth, of course, or in a really cold biome for some reason when you're starting in the game. Though, in general, you're not really going to have to worry about that until later in the game. But you should upgrade that eventually in the future. I would definitely upgrade weight, maybe at like just a couple times, just with a couple of your levels. Just because really 100 weight, you're not going to be able to carry much. And so you need to upgrade that. So really 150 is where I would stop as like a good amount. You're probably not really going to need to worry about your health. And your stamina, you probably should level up, just because you'll be running out of stamina constantly. And now, okay, so I did my math wrong. It said you had 10 levels here, and you automatically get level 1. And so I'm just not going to include the things that you get at level 11, which is more like the wood structures and stuff, which you get more of in level 12. So, yeah, but I will cover that in the next video. So if you want to see level 10 to 20 all the way down to here, I will be covering that. So in the next episode. So you're gonna have 6 engram points when you start, and so you're gonna get a stone hatchet and a campfire. Spears are good too, especially for long range. When you're wanting to kill the Dilophosaurus and other dinosaurs like that, like dodos or something, and you just want something long range, you can also throw spears, which is cool. So if you want a spear, you can totally get a spear, and it would probably be a very good use of your engram points. Though personally, I do not use them. Though I might even play better if I did. So I would suggest getting the spear. But before that, you're gonna want to get your cloth shirt, your cloth pants, and your cloth hat at level 3. And the reason for those 3 specific things is because they only take fiber to make. And is there like a para pushing me or something? Or like a trike? There's something behind me pushing me. Whatever. But you're gonna want to be able to get cloth boots and cloth gloves. But you should get that when you have access to hide, because you need fiber and hide to make it. It's not a lot of hide, but you know, you're going to need some hide in order to make them. Water skins are good, but most likely you're not going to use water skins simply because they just keep leaking. And so, and generally most of the spawn spots you spawn next to a beach, so you'll have plenty of water. Okay, when you level up to level 4, this is at the point where I don't know how many engrams you get, but you're definitely gonna want to get the sleeping bag and the storage box if possible. Then, as you get the engram points, I would definitely suggest getting like the foundations and walls and stuff like that. But you're gonna want to get the slingshot as well, so make sure you save some engrams for that. Then you're definitely gonna want to get the mortar and pestle, narcotics, and spark powder, just because those are very important and you're going to need them in the future. Then you can probably, you're going to want to get the simple bed, because you can respawn it that multiple times instead of a sleeping bag. Like if you have a sleeping bag, you don't need to immediately learn a simple bed, though it is a pretty big upgrade that you're going to be using for a long time. Definitely get spyglass, but not until you get crystal, because crystal's hard to find, and in general you're not going to be able to craft the spyglass at the start of the game, but you can definitely go back in your engrams and research the spyglass later, especially because it's only 2 engram points. Also make sure to get the foundation and the walls, as well as the thatched ceilings, and then I would also suggest, of course, getting the thatched door and door frame, just so that you can make that. Now the slope thatched ceilings, people do like those. I personally like them, and I put it on my house in How to Start an Ark. But you don't need those, so if you don't want to spend your engram points on that, you don't have to. But you totally can if you want to. Really, most of this stuff you're not going to be using until later, though you can research the cooking pot, and that'll be pretty useful, unless you're going to be making a decent amount of stuff in a cooking pot. You're probably not going to need that, so I would suggest just basically not really getting anything in that level, because you're not really going to need much, unless you're going back and getting stuff up here. Otherwise, I would definitely get the bola. That's very useful for later. A bow, and then, when possible, make sure to get those arrows. And that's your levels 1 to 10. And you automatically unlock everything at level 1 here. So torch, pick, and notes are just automatically there. And by the way, you'll basically never use notes. So if you see the ability to make those, it's because they're super cheap. But you're not. Yeah, it says you can make it to make custom recipe. You can use it to make custom recipes in a cooking pot. But otherwise, you're really not going to be using that. But definitely get stone arrows at your next level. Like whenever you can, just because they'll be super useful. And by level 21, you'll be able to get trank arrows, which will help you knock out dinosaurs, which is very, very important. And you can even use those trank arrows for crossbows in the future, which are much more effective than a regular bow. But you're going to want to start with that bow, because you're going to need a smithy in order to craft a crossbow. But yeah, otherwise, I basically say, if I don't have the dinosaur, why would I have the saddle? And so I wouldn't spend points on saddles unless you have that dinosaur, or you plan on getting it. And so yeah, and so that is your levels 1 to 10 how to spend your Engram points, how to spend your points here, and yeah, so make sure to stay tuned for the next episode of this, where I'll be showing you 1 to 20, and then 20 to 30, and I'll be going in 10 level increments, all the way up to level 104, because the other levels, which I'm pretty sure you can get to level 155. Correct me if I'm wrong. Um, and but that is only if you use chibis and you defeat all the bosses. Um, but otherwise, yeah. So if this video was helpful, make sure to like, and or if you enjoyed, and if you want to see the next videos and stuff like that, make sure to press the subscribe button, because it helps me out, and you can then press the notifications bell after you press subscribe button, and it's free and everything. So yeah, it's, you might as well go press that button, and yeah, and I try to post at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Sunday, but I don't always. So it's a good idea to press that notifications bell. Alright, so thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.